One. What's going on, man? This is your boy Reflection. We got an exclusive testimony series from Miss Faith, Prophetess Faith. She's gonna let y'all know a little bit about her life, where she's come from, and where God has her at now. So we're gonna just turn the mic over to her to do it in her own way.
Hey, what's going on? It's your girl Faith. Brief testimony about my life. I grew up in California. I say 2005. I'm gonna just get right into it. 2005. In April of 2005, actually, I was in the back seat of a Honda Accord, one of them 84s or whatever, on the right side. We got hit by a diesel truck on the front left side. Car spun around from the front left side. Only the back where I was got smashed into a wall and was crushed. I was unconscious for 30 minutes. They had to cut me out the car and all that type of stuff, take me to the hospital. And when I got to the hospital, they told my moms that my back and my neck was broken. There's no way that she's walking. My mom's like, nah, y'all need to go back and look again, you know, and all that type of stuff. They went back, came back in there and said, nah, nothing's broken, you know, so I walked away with bruises, you know what I'm saying. But right before that, the key of that is my brother, who's a pastor now, was ministering to me right before this accident, and he was telling me, you know, God is trying to get your attention, you know what I'm saying. You're not doing what he wants you to do, you know what I'm saying. He really wants, you know, he's really trying to get your attention. And I'm like, okay, bro, you know, I'm doing okay, you know what I'm saying, because at that time he wasn't fully living for God, you know what I'm saying. So I'm like, oh, you can't tell me nothing, you know what I'm saying. I'm just looking at him like whatever. Then come to find out, in December of 2005, 6 months later, I ended up being the passenger again, not driving, in a car accident. Explorer Sport. We got rammed into a pole, engine on my lap, trunk right here. When they came to the scene, they said there's no way that she could possibly be alive. They was like, no, she is dead. They didn't even want to come over there and try to cut me out. They just wanted to bring everything in the corners and have it gone. And my cousin's like, nah, she's in there, because she was driving. Her side's fine. You know what I'm saying? And so they came over there and they looking, and once they got, like, was sitting up there telling me everything, you know what I'm saying, they were trying to figure out how the car is crushed and my face is okay because the pole was right here and all this stuff is pushed back. They told me if I had been a ½ an inch taller that I would have no legs, and they still don't understand how my face wasn't crushed. They were saying my face should have been shattered, the way that the car looked, how everything was pushed back. So they had to break my leg to get me out of the car. That was the only way, with the Jaws life and everything. And at that point in time, I had just, you know what I'm saying, I was in a group. Our deal didn't go through. We was working with Kim Career and Johnny Wright at that time, so I ended up having to stay with one of my group members and everything like that. And my leg was broken, you know, one of her boyfriends came down, and I couldn't go home at that time because me and my sister's father didn't get along, so I didn't want to go over there. So that's actually how I got to Houston, down here. So I came down here. I started walking September the 25th of 2006. You know, I just started walking. I was still supposed to have my brace on, but I got tired of the brace. I took it off. And when I came down here, I was only supposed to be down here for 6 months. I was working on a deal in Atlanta with some folks. I'm not going to say their names, but with some folks and everything like that. And I ended up actually going to church, you know, with one of the STC members that took me to church, Erupt, and everything. He hit me up about STC, told me about the church, and I kept saying, okay, I'm going to get in church, I'm going to get in church. And right before that accident, backtracking, my brother was ministering to me again, talking about, April, God is not playing with you. He said, I'm saying, he's really trying to get your attention, you know, so I'm sure he's trying to tell you, you know, what's going on, you know, before something happened. But you know, you need to, you know what I'm saying, come on and come to Christ. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't tell me fully how to do that. So when I came down here, I ended up going to In Christ Ministries with Erupt and all that type of stuff. And that's when I gave my life to Christ, because it was like some word that came forth and everything like that. And I was new in it. You know, and they were feeding me good word and everything like that. But 6 months after that, you know, not 6 months, probably about 4 months or whatever, I had dealt with a lot of depression and low self-esteem, because I came from abusive households, abusive relationships, you know what I'm saying. People constantly telling me I wasn't going to be nothing. You can't sing, you're not cute, you ain't going to never amount to nothing. You know what I'm saying. The only thing you're going to be able to do is work at McDonald's, you know what I'm saying. You ain't going to do nothing. That's basically how the stuff that I grew up, people telling me. My mom was always supportive, but everyone around me, all the men I got with, nobody going to want you but me. You know what I'm saying. So my self-esteem was real low or whatever. And when I came to Christ or whatever, it began to lift up a little bit, but it didn't get fully there. So I ended up being in a relationship with a dude, and we broke up. and a lot of stuff was going wrong. You know, family cut me off and everything, so I ended up taking a whole bunch of medicine and committed suicide. I took a whole bunch of medicine, saw myself laying there dead and everything. It was like breath, like somebody literally said into my body, because I woke up like body was stiff, stumbling all over the place. And then one of my bros, you know, spiritual brothers that was down here came and actually came to my house or whatever, and he's the one that actually, you know, helped me get back like to life and everything, with water and all this type of stuff, like help that situation, because I wasn't able to walk nothing and all that type of stuff. And that was the moment when I said, you know what, God, I'll put nothing and nobody before you. Nothing and nobody comes before you. None of that. You see what I'm saying? So that's when I actually started to completely put my all into him. You know what I'm saying? And completely began to like really seek out who God is. And that's where my confidence came. My self-esteem got boosted. You know, nobody can't tell me nothing about myself to break me down anymore. You see what I'm saying? God is the only one that's going to be able to take away that loneliness, that hurt, that pain, that love that I so longed for. A man was not able to feel it. No man was able to feel that. You know what I'm saying? And once I began to actually put all my love and my trust in him, and figure out that he was the one that I really needed in my life, you know what I'm saying, and he became my number one, my all, my everything. He sent me somebody to find me. You know, he who findeth the wife. And it's like, and God is still number one. And with him, God is number one with him, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you don't put, all I got to say to the ladies is, if you continue to search for love in a man or anyone else, try to find love in your mom, your father, your sister, whoever it is, best friend, it's not going to happen. You have to completely put all your trust and your love in God, like really love on God, and let him into your life, and let him be your everything. Let him be your husband, like you're supposed to be the bride of Christ. Let him be your mother, let him be your father, let him be your sister, your brother. If everyone cut me off in this world, I still wouldn't be lonely. That's how it has to be. You see what I'm saying? He'll begin to input confidence. He'll begin to input self-esteem. He'll begin to show you that you are really beautiful. You see what I'm saying? Because I would look in the mirror and hate it. I would front, you know, like I really liked myself, but I never liked myself for a long time. It wasn't until I became like 24 when I started really liking myself. I came to Christ when I was 23, but I didn't fully get it until about 24. You know what I'm saying? That's when God came and did everything. And I came from a lot. You see what I'm saying? I mean, lust not only after men, but you know what I'm saying, me being in the dancing scenes. I used to dance for people, you know what I'm saying, Shane, dance behind him. He's the one that does America's Best Dance Crew. Little short guy, him. he already know he's short. Dave Scott, Wade Robinson, Swoop, dance with all of them, and dance with a lot of artists. So in that industry, there's a lot of homosexuality. And a lot of people think that it's just something that's popping up because a lot of people in California, you know, where I'm from, you know, it's like little people are just popping up everywhere. It's like chicken pox or cold, you know what I'm saying? Because they got cities dedicated to homosexuals, but it's really a transfer of spirits. And by me hanging out with a lot of them, I started to notice myself, you know what I'm saying, being attracted to women and stuff like that. And it was like I never fully went through with it because I knew that was wrong. If I didn't know nothing, I knew about Sodom and Gomorrah. You see what I'm saying? But it's like that God had to break that too, because it was like I was like, okay, wait a minute, because when it would come in my head, I'm like, no. And I was telling my husband, you know, Janet Jackson was one of the people that I first started, you know what I'm saying, lusting after and everything like that. And lust in the Bible also, just to put that out there, says if you look upon a man or woman with lust in your heart, you've already committed adultery. So that's also breaking one of the 10 commandments. But I put that out there to say there's a lot of people that's not wondering where that spirit is coming from. Look at the people around you. You see what I'm saying? I don't like no women. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight, fully serving God, fully full out. But God had to deliver me from that, and that's real. And that's a testimony I never told anybody at all except my husband. But it's like, it's a lot of people out there that I'm noticing that are dealing with it like, where's this coming from? But you have a whole bunch of that around you. So it's a transference of spirits. The people that you allow around you and the stuff that you listen to and the stuff that you allow to come in your eyes, like that lesbian show and everything, I don't know what it's called, the L Word. You watching stuff like that, Will and Grace, stuff like that, that's transferring spirits into your system.